Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota, Tim. How's it going this evening, you 111,614 beautiful souls? Well, here we are making an evening chat, no fire. And even if I wanted one, I couldn't. It's not that cold out there. It's a beautiful 65 degrees, but we've got rain. And man, these weather guys can never get it right. They said it was supposed to be heavy rain all day today. Starting this morning until this evening and then clearing out. Well, it started sprinkling and it drizzled a little bit of the day. And then when I was at the mall, it was raining and drizzling pretty good. Enough that nobody wanted to be outside and walk, but it definitely didn't come any heavy rain. So I just walked out the door right now to take a peek. And it was not heavy, but raining pretty good. So definitely sequestered. And so I thought I would check in with you guys, but no fire tonight, no fireside chat. But I was going through some of the comments, and I wanted to say thank you very much for those that are wishing me a successful surgery tomorrow with the dermatology right in this area here of my chest. And it's like a bummer, man. So I guess I won't be doing any flies and bench pressing and all that. I wonder how it's going to affect me with my shooting. Yeah, and my new firearm, FedEx updated me and said that it was going to be delivered today. And of course, the place that receives it has to call me when they're ready for me to come in and pay them for receiving it. I think it's $35. And then you have to pay a $5 background check. And then they'll let you have it. So looking forward to that. And then, what it is a full-size. It's a full-size 1911 exact twin make and everything to the one I have that has a 3-inch barrel. They make a 4-inch barrel, then they make the full size. And what it is if you're into the 1911 style handgun, it's the old military type gun, 45 caliber. It is it's an iconic gun, and you saw the one that I have that's with the rosewood grips and the stainless body and everything. It's just beautiful. Well, I watch a lot of YouTube videos about it. I'm trying to learn more different things and disassembly and cleaning it. And, I had an issue with failure to feed and a couple of things. And I ordered the Wilson Combat magazines. They were delivered today. So we're going to do everything we can by oiling it and maintaining it and putting some ammo through it to break it in, as some people believe, and do all the things that make it a very reliable firearm. And so none of that discouraged me, the couple of failure to feeds I had. So I ordered the large one. And believe me, I wouldn't have bought it for what it retails for. I got it for such a good deal on Gun Brokers. And I don't know why I even mess around with these retail big stores like Academy and such, especially when they didn't really take care of me after buying a couple already. I mean, their policy is to price match and beat it by 5%. And they make all these stipulations that I've got to jump through. I've got to make sure it's a store that they absolutely will price match against, not just anybody. It's these stores, and it has to be, in stock or, legitimate ad. And I presented that to them, and they said, nah, we ain't going to do it. How about I meet you in the middle? They started negotiating. The manager of the store negotiated with me, deviating from their policy. That's another story. So anyway, it was fortuitous because JJ found it for me, on Gun Broker, and it was $200 and something cheaper. And I was suspect. I was like, how can it be? What's wrong with this one? Is it used? Whatever. And I found out that particular company is just like eBay, where you can buy new and used things. I can go on there and, get rid of what I've got if I want to, just like eBay. And, you have to be a really good seller, or, the buyer has a lot of recourse, and you have to be straight up, legitimate. You got to make sure you tell everything honestly. And there was nothing to tell. It was a brand new firearm. And they had an A+ rating of selling tens of thousands of items already. So very confident with it. and I'm really happy with the price that I paid. So, so there's that. And then today I ordered a new gun holster for it and a new gun belt. So when Cowboy Tim shows up and we go out west, he's going to have him a whole new brown leather belt, magazine pouch, and it's called a pancake holster, actually. It turns out I'll be able to put my other 1911 in there as well, and possibly the Glock 17 will even go in it. So I don't want to stretch it out too much though, because the Glock is a wider handgun than the slimmer 1911. All right, so that's enough of that. Going to get to surgery tomorrow, and the weather's going to be amazing. The next several days, we won't even see 80 degrees. It's going to be in the 70s. And you got to remember, when you get the high forecast every day, that's about 3 or 4 o'clock. That's when the highest temperature finally comes in. Just like, in case you didn't know, the lowest temperature every day is about 30 minutes before sunrise. So we're going to have like this 59, upper 50s at night with mid 70s during the day. So we should be having like 60, 65, and 68, 70 degrees throughout the day with sunshine. It's just going to be amazing here in Sarasota, Florida. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hitting that range. But regarding the travel, as I just alluded to, going out west and seeing Cowboy Tim again, and being able to go outside and shoot like outside of city limits in the outdoor area. Should I return to Laughlin? And there's a great possibility I will, because I love that route, especially the I-10 corridor is warmer, even now, and I don't have to worry about ice or snow, and it's a better highway. But what's really got me more excited about going there is staying not just at the Tropicana, maybe I might, where it's free, basically. I think it's $75 a week. Or I could stay at the, what's it called? Where I stayed at over a month once. The guy that owns that town, what's his name? Oh my gosh. A, B, C. Well, whatever. I'll think of it in a minute, maybe. It depends on what the season prices are. But really what I'm trying to say is, when I get there, it's not about being there and golfing there, which I would like to do, and check out the Colorado River and all the places, and off-roading and shooting and all of these things. But I'm thinking that I'll be disconnecting and jumping in the Crusher and going to California, maybe Palm Springs, maybe Laguna, Newport Beach, maybe over to see California Steve or Temecula Jay, playing some golf with those guys over there. I know they want me to come. Even Cedar City, Utah is not far, because Vegas is only an hour and a half from Laughlin. So pretty much it's a good place. You drive 6 days to get there. And if you stay for a couple of weeks, after you're there for a couple of days, you disconnect and get in the truck, and you can go to all of these different places that are a day drive, to get there. Play some golf, do whatever I want to do, visit friends, see the sights. I go over to California, and if I decide I want to stay a night or two somewhere and get a room and throw down for that, if I can book a deal on some online deal, then maybe we'll do that. We may visit some wine country. We may visit something over there that is really interesting. To Grand Canyon. What's that one national park that's right there near Cedar City, Utah, which is not too far, is Zion National Park. So there's all that. There's golf. There's everything. There's everything worth wanting to go, for sure. It's got me excited. And of course, seeing Johnny Vegas, I didn't mean to leave him out. He's the main reason. He's the main man. Because he's right there in Vegas, and we're going to be playing some golf and hook it up with the other guys too. Timmy Appleseed. Speaking of Timmy Appleseed, listen to this idea. And I did video these briefly, maybe you might remember, in my Tampa RV show video. You remember those old school campers that go on the back of pickup trucks? You know, you drive your truck under it and it sits on the bed. You know, they still make those brand new, and they're very, very proud of them. They're expensive, but they can also be procured used and probably for a reasonable price. It's nothing that I'm likely to do, but remember when I left the Crasher in Jacksonville and I bought the Cramper? By the way, thank you for reminding me of the name of it. I couldn't think of it the other day. The little bushwhacker, the little coffin. Man, I miss that little thing, you know, with the galley in the back and all that. We were cooking out in the rest areas. People thought I was selling something or selling breakfasts or whatever. Most comfortable bed I ever slept in my life. You know, it had when you have power, it had a little air conditioning unit in there, a little window unit, TV, and I could run my generator to it, you know. So it was really nice. So that small camper, you know, I towed behind the Tundra on one of my trips out there, which was a heck of a lot easier. That's why I didn't want to take the Crasher, my big Flagstaff, because I was concerned that it wouldn't pull the mountains and things like that. Well, we found out that it actually could and did it, but we knew it was back there. I knew it was back there. I got a mouse in my pocket when I say we. A friend of mine used to say that all the time. I'd say, we got to go and do this. And he said, what, do you got a mouse in your pocket? So Timmy Appleseed sends me a picture of one of those campers that goes on the back of your truck. And what kind of a truck do I have now? I've got a brand new, the Super Duty, the Super Crusher that can put, I don't know, 3,500 pounds on the back of the bed. I mean, that's what the Wolf Pup weighed, the whole camper. So it is ideal. And even though it doesn't have an 8-foot bed, which I wouldn't have anyway, it has the 6 3/4. It definitely can fit underneath and carry one of these campers. And did you know it's kind of like a fifth wheel? They just disconnect real quick, or like a tractor trailer. You know, they back it in, they unhook it, and then drive the truck away. I could get that thing out there to Laughlin and park it and drive the truck out, and then go to the golf courses or all those places that I just mentioned, you know, and be able to drive out there, you know, with everything on my back, not worrying about, you know, pulling the camper. Not that I really have an issue, because I've got plenty of truck, and that's likely what I'm going to do. But it was a great suggestion by Timmy Appleseed to consider, you know, let's say pick up one really cheap. I mean, I sold the Cramper for more than I gave for it after using it, and I enjoyed it. And the person that bought it loves it. He modified the heck out of it. He's got it looking like a completely different rig. So anyway, there's all these different things, and many of you have suggested that too. Sell the Crasher and the Crusher and buy a Class C or an A small Class A or whatever, and tow the Honda, the CC Rider, right? That's an idea, but I really wouldn't do that, because I'm not going to buy any more RVs. I'm sitting here talking about buying something for that truck. I meant that I would live in. You know, I'm not ever going to find anything that has a better floor plan than what I have, even though that would be convenient to pull the CC Rider and have a nice economy car to drive around when I got somewhere and travel around like that. I still got to live in this Class C or Class A, and basically every Class C is the same floor plan. Basically every one. I mean, there's very little differences that they do to those. I mean, depending on how long of one you get. You know, you can get these long albatrosses that, you know, on bigger, you know, F550 frames and stuff, and those Super Cs and things like that. I understand you can get that. But I'm talking about just a regular Class C. I really don't care much for them myself. And I do like a Class A if it's a Prevost or a Tiffin or some other nice big diesel pusher with a tag axle. Heck yeah, I'd love that. But that isn't going to happen, right? Not until I get a few more views on YouTube. Hey, by the way, this is a good time to ask, if you don't mind, if you like the video you're watching, would you please smash the thumbs up? It really helps me in the algorithm that I'm fighting every day with YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to the channel too. Thank you very much. But traveling is something that I definitely want to do in the next month. I'm going to have to get my stitches removed. I mean, I'm not going anywhere anyway for another month. I didn't think I would. I did talk about it with Johnny Vegas that maybe the end of this month I'd go ahead and, I've got my eye doctor and I was pretty much caught up. I didn't know until they called me today and said, we recommend you come in and let us slice you up and then, hang out for a while, a couple of weeks till you get the stitches out. And, like Angel Mission said in the comments tonight, and I do listen to people because I did say to myself, what do I need that for? I mean, if it grows back, I'll have them cut it off again or burn it or something, or, maybe they just want to make money. But no, she and others are right. If they're saying to do it, go ahead. And I got that disadvantage plan. It's going to run me another $45 tomorrow because you get that copay. These $45 are eating me alive. But I'm not spending $300 a month either for a supplement plan, so whether I use it or not. And I'm using my insurance, and I got that operation on my eye. The eye, what do you guys think about the eye? Let me tell you about the eye. It's better, and hopefully it looks better. But sometimes during the day, I'm really tired. My sleeping's been off. I have these caffeine crashes, and don't get me started. But my eyes get red, and they might be kind of red right now. I'm a little tired and everything. I get up early and start drinking coffee. And today I wanted to take a nap 5 times. I mean, I fell asleep like an old man, sitting there looking at my phone, watching holster videos on YouTube, and fall asleep, for 30 seconds or something, and say, I need to go in there and just lay down for 30 minutes and recharge my battery. And I've talked about that before, especially when you're driving. You better do that, and I would if I was driving, but I didn't. So, I'll go to bed early tonight, get up early in the morning. But anyway, the eye is. I guess the stitches are, I go a week from tomorrow for him to give another pressure check. And he'll tell me if the stitches are out or not. And he did tell me it would be weeks. My vision in the left eye is, not like it was before the surgery, but it wasn't good then. I mean, compared to my right eye. But he did say that it would come back to at least what I had, but it will take time. So it's a little better. It's not quite as red, that big bloodshot spot all the way around. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you. Yeah, the eye. I'm on these drops called prednisone. It's nothing about pressure reduction. It's about post-surgery, keeping my eye dilated. In fact, one of my subscribers mentioned that it looked like my pupil was dilated, that I should see the doctor, but he actually told me that he wants to keep it dilated until he sees me. For whatever reason that you need to do that. But one of my eye drops is out. And you know what? It's my fault. I knew 3 or 4 days ago how long it was going to be yet before I see the doctor, in like another week. And that one bottle, I don't have multiple bottles of that like I do some of the other drops that I'm not even using now, that is going to run out. And it did. And I don't have any for tonight. And until they can get that filled tomorrow, or I have to call him or whatever, I might go 24 hours without the steroid, which I'm required to do twice a day in my left eye. And I've got to get to the doctor at 1 o'clock tomorrow to be sliced and diced. And then I want to go pick up my firearm. I know that can wait. so I've got a lot going on. I also want to, I've got the delivery came today for my new Wilson Combat magazines. So I'm excited about some things, and some of the things are like, but I do want to get better. I want to get this taken care of. I want my eye to get better so I can drive, right? And see and shoot and do all the things that are normal so I can live a long, long life all the way out to 73 or more. Beat the average, right? So it's hard to believe I'm going to be 70 in 4 years. How about 3.5 years? That's my new joke now. 66 years old. I just can't even believe it. I really can't. Because yesterday I was collecting and going to get, yesterday I was saying I only got 2 more years till I turn 62 and I'm getting that Social Security. In 2 years, I'm going to have an automatic free check coming to me every month for the rest of my life to at least pay. I didn't think it was going to support me, but I said, because I knew I wanted to still work and supplement it, I said, but I don't have to worry about rent, a mortgage, and my car payment if I had one, or whatever, $1,700, $1,800. It was a little lower than that when I first started collecting because we got the big boost of $150 2 years ago. So I'd started out, I'm around 18 now, so it was like $1,650 or something. But I thought $1,650, and that was also before rents doubled. So I kind of thought I really was going to have it made as far as just your housing, your overhead, your main, take that chunk off anyway, and the rest is easy to make. Food, gas, credit card, car insurance, incidentals, clothing, car washes, shampoo, stuff you got to have and you're going to be doing. And I just couldn't wait. And that was just yesterday. And then I got it. And then we got the bump, and it was great. And I remember the first several checks. In fact, I still get excited when I see the deposit every month. Like, look at that, and then you make the extra money on the side, either doing YouTube or working at the golf course or passing out crackers or whatever, and then you make at least that much more. And it's like, man, and I'm retired. I can go and do what I want to do. It's just amazing. It's just really amazing. And then, of course, after that, some things have happened with the pandemic. Prices went way up, and now the money is not going as far. Health issues started hitting us that I always talked about. Why wait till your full retirement age? Look at me. I'm a relatively healthy guy, but I got the eye thing going on. I got some dermatology thing. I'm supposed to go get a C scan because they said the cholesterol is high because of the carnivore diet. No, it's not because of that. It's because of whatever I've been doing my entire life. I'm a Southern boy. We liked burnt okra, and we like burnt pork chops and everything burnt and fried. And so fried potatoes, you name it. But I'm doing pretty good. And I'm being cognizant now of what I do and exercise and eat because I do want to live as long as I can. And I want to be able to go out and do things before my mind tells me, even though I'm not unhealthy, your attitude changes. You get to the point where you're like, I'd rather watch somebody on YouTube do it than me do it. And, I know some people do that, and I'll be there one day. I'll have my Geritol right here and be sitting in my rocking chair, like George Jones says, I don't need your rocking chair. Remember that song? For you country people out there. I got a good friend of mine, God rest his soul. He was George Jones's #1 fan. Yep, Mr. Jerry, he was something. What was I going to say to you? Oh, yeah. Since we're reminiscing, some of the things, I know I like to talk about old days. Well, sometimes I'll say to myself, make a video about that. I was talking today when we were at the store, and I don't know, it was cereal. We were looking at different cereals, and I said, oh, yeah, you remember, like the other night I was talking about candies. Do you guys remember growing up eating, I'm talking about, I was going to ask you this. Don't let me forget about the cereal, okay? I want to talk about that. What is the earliest age you folks out there can remember back to? Do you remember back when you were 2, 3, 4, 5? Was it 10? Can you only remember back when you were 20 now? I mean, how far? Now, I have memories in my mind that were indelibly soldered in my brain of maybe one thing that happened, and I know I was a little boy, like when I got a new mini bike, or coming out, of my bedroom and seeing it in the living room there, that my dad gave me, and just other things. I won't try to remember right now. I don't want to go off on that, but I want to ask you guys, what fond memories? I mean, can you recall? Some people can recall when they were very, very young. Maybe it was because I was working and supporting a family and doing all that at a very, very young age, younger than most, that I have forgotten a lot of that. But let me know in the comments how old you remember being, and remembering quite a bit of. Now, to the cereal. So there were cereals that I grew up on. You remember the commercials too. Tricks are for kids. Did you ever eat Tricks? And what about Sugar Pops? I understand they call them Corn Pops now because they don't want to use the word sugar. They were called Sugar Pops. When I was a kid, I think they were. And then what about Sugar Smacks? Remember the commercial for that? And I think they're called, I don't know. I think they leave the word sugar out. There's somebody told me. But I grew up loving cereal as a kid. In fact, I make a joke now. If I see a big bowl, I'll always say, that's a good cereal bowl. Because we used to pour like half the box. We were big cereal eaters when I was a kid. I loved it. But how about Raisin Bran and Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops? That commercial just, the bird, right? The Fruit Loop bird. What was that called? What kind of bird is that? Yeah, all those commercials and those cereals. So there was, and then cornflakes, they have, they're great. I actually like instead of Frosted Flakes, that's what I meant to say. I like the regular cornflakes. And I like them when you put sugar on them, when I used to eat a lot of sugar, but I like them without any sugar at all, with bananas on it. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to go off on a tangent now. Who likes banana sandwiches? No, I'm not talking about peanut butter and banana. I'm talking about mayonnaise and banana. Folks, you don't even know how many of those I've eaten in my life. White bread, mayonnaise, and sliced bananas. And you got to slice them too. I mean, not down the middle. Banana sandwiches, I even like them with a dill pickle. Yeah, I know a lot of people have eaten peanut butter and mayo sandwiches, or peanut butter and mayo, I think just peanut butter and mayo. I don't know if they put a banana on there, but I've heard of that. I don't think I've ever tried that. So that if the mayonnaise and banana grosses you out, well then, I can think the same thing about peanut butter and mayo. And I know a lot of you are going to tell me you've heard of that because I've had it told to me all my life. But bologna sandwiches, I mean, I grew up on those. I know they say bologna's not any good for you. It's the leftover stuff. Everything, they just rake it over into the bowl, whatever's left over, and smash it up and make bologna. I do buy beef when I buy it, or even the hot dogs. I don't buy the pork pieces, But what about those cereals? Do you remember some of them you can mention that I failed to mention there? The old-timey, what I didn't like? I don't know. I think I got sick once on them. And a lot of people love them. I cannot stand it. I can't even say it. Is Lucky Charms. They get these little marshmallows in there. And, it is not my favorite. But I did like Raisin Bran. And then later on in life, they came out with Raisin Bran Crunch, that the flakes actually got sugar on them. They just kept adding more sugar, to everything. So, you remember the one they used to advertise that was healthy for you, some kind of granola? What was it called? It was like they made it look like it was really healthy. It was a bunch of granola type cereal. Forgot the name of it. It was famous. I can't think of it. Maybe you can remember for me. So anyway, those old-timey things. And the other day we were talking about AI, and someone in the comments was saying they were working on some kind of, what is it called, Grok or something like that, the new one. And you were having an issue with your Bluetooth or something, and Grok was telling you, hey, take a break, you're doing good, and all that. Just kind of like talking to you. I mean, really, really wild. Here I am talking about some old cereal, and on TV they're talking about, your phone, your computer, talking to you, probably Alexa, and this Grok or Croc or AI. And by the way, I know it is an owl now that was on Space Odyssey 2001. It was Hal. So I read the comments, see, I'm telling you. I'm trying to remember my best. And that's why I like to kind of go over these kinds of videos sometimes, because if I ever left you out, or you've commented several times and maybe I haven't even commented to you, I sincerely apologize about that, but I have read your comment, and they get read to me too. I have several people that go over these comments with me and we talk about them, and but I personally do read them. I lay down in bed at night and I can't put my phone down. One of the last things I do to kind of make me drowsy is I always go through the comments. And then of course we've got a few that we've got to put to sea, and bury it and put an anchor on it and sink it down to the deep blue, They got to go away, but hey, they sneak in every now and then. But for the most part, I have a wonderful community, and this is a lot of fun. But I did want to say tonight, thank you so much for wishing me well tomorrow. You always wish me well on all these little things that I get done. These aren't major issues like some are having. And we do want to remember Johnny Vegas with his health, and others that are out there, people I don't even know, friends of yours, your family, if they have any kind of health issues. Life is not all fun and games. Sometimes things are serious that come about. But I'll tell you, man, the good Lord is definitely watching over those that do the right thing. You live your life clean, you get what you put out of it, what you put into it. You definitely do. I was just mentioning today about how, I thought I was going to sell this car and it didn't sell. I was going to buy that Cadillac, and I mentioned that tonight. And I swear to you folks, and I don't like to say that, but I mean it sincerely, that when I went back to that Cadillac dealer and I walk in there and they don't have the typical, hey, he's back, this guy's serious, let's sit him down, what do we got to do? That's what I always did when I was in the business. That's what they all do today. But they didn't. They just he just went around passing out some kind of flyers into the sales offices. I'm talking about the manager there. They just let me walk out and didn't even, now just because I told them I was in the business, they didn't have to sell me that car for anything less than they were going to make on it or had to make on it. I don't know today how rare it is or what they're going to have. If I wanted it bad enough, I would have bought it and had to pay their price, because that's what it is. But they didn't even. And I think that was not meant to be for me, because I actually have a car that is halfway towards the Tesla. It's half electric. I don't have to go plug in anywhere. It charges itself, and it's got an electric motor in it. And I have a Honda. Not that Cadillac isn't a good car. General Motors has come a long way, and they do offer 4 years warranty. And don't think, folks, that I don't think that car is beautiful. Don't think that if it was sitting out here in the parking lot, I couldn't wait to see it again tomorrow morning, because that thing is so pretty. But really, it just wasn't meant to be. And I'm trying to look at like everything else I own in my life, places I want to go. I wouldn't be taking it with me anyway. I'd be enjoying my new Super Duty, that's an amazing truck, and my wonderful camper, and seeing America and meeting people and just, doing that. If that's a plan one day and I sell everything and, I'm a little bit older and we get to that point we talked about earlier where I'm done, I'm ready to chill out. Maybe that Caddo that I don't have to worry about breaking because it won't be driven much. I'll just run to the store and here and there around town. I won't be traveling. That would be a nice thing to get in and out of when I'm older and, all that. I mean, I'd like it right now too, but no, it wasn't meant to be. And the Tesla, that was more of curiosity and to make some content. I'm not out looking to buy one. I was curious about it, but I have a good car and I have kind of on that line of sort of electric. And but that self-driving thing was interesting. And don't think that that's not going to be in a lot of cars with this new artificial intelligence. I mean, we're about to see things come so fast at us that I want to enjoy, some of this. These are the good old days. That's what my friend used to say, because the way things have been progressing. And some people, one person made a comment before I go. I know I said I'm going to go, but let me just say this. And I don't wish anybody, and I don't want to go to heaven tonight. We all want to go, but nobody wants to go tonight. But some people said, I hope, that if it does turn out to be a bad world with more wars or AI is no good, and, I won't be here to see it, kind of the way it was put by somebody. Think about those that left the world years ago, that didn't have to go through, they had nothing but good times. They never saw a pandemic. They never saw the previous administration and how we just almost drove this country into the ground with open borders and, this crazy whacked up stuff about transgender and all these different things, that have no room for anybody with common sense. And so I'm just hoping that all these promises that were made that are trying to be fulfilled do make our country good and strong again. And that we can have great memories that our children and our grandchildren can grow up and talk about and make YouTube videos, if there's such a thing one day, about how this time was memorable to them and the good times they had out of it. So, you can look at a glass half full, right? Or look at it half empty. Attitude is everything. I once read that if you light yourself on fire, the whole world will come watch you burn. So crush it.